Okay, so we are live. Hello and welcome back to Rep Sports. I am Rahul Giri and I'm joined by Bharat Ramraj. And India have defeated their arch rival Pakistan 5-3 in the final group stage of the Hockey World Cup campaign, which means Pakistan podium finish is diminished, but Indian men's hockey team keep their hopes alive for the semi-final of this Hockey World Cup. There are a few positive as well, but at the same time, there are a few questions regarding which we were discussing in the pre-show. Now the question is whether those questions were answered or not today against Pakistan. So we'll discuss about that in this show. I'm joined by Bharat. Bharat, um, against England, that was a disappointing show by Indian men's team. There are a lot of areas where improvement was needed. But do you think those areas were addressed against Pakistan today?
I guess not necessarily. The scorecard itself tells that it was not exactly India's best match. Yes, a lot of credit to Pakistan for netting in three goals. We talked about Sufyan. They did quite well to get three goals out. Anand Shahid also got a couple of goals. But I think India could have done better. They were 3-0 up somewhere. Perhaps there was a problem out again with their defensive structure. They started with a 5-3-2 combination. Yes, Harmanpreet got the goals out when it comes to penalty corners. Someone like Abhishek Nain showed some good dribbling skills, and again, he was good with controlling the aerial ball. So there were a few positives to take, but overall basis, maybe the India's midfield is struggling a little bit in this World Cup. You can tell that. So there have been problems with the Indian team, and that is something that they have to address going forward. Maybe at some point of time when they take a lead, 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead, or 2-1 lead, they tend to take the foot off the pedal. But again, you have to give some credit to Pakistan. It's never easy to know when a team is 3-0 down, you're basically out of the tournament at that moment, and then from there, they still tried to make a match out of it. So some credit has to go to Pakistan as well. Hello, I guess you're stuck. Or are you back?
Sorry, no, I'm
Yeah,
now my internet is
yeah,
back. Actually, yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
yes,
One have commented. I guess
yes.
Shaurya Rawat has commented. Am I audible now?
Yeah. You are audible. Just a comment has come. Yeah,
I'm audible, right? Okay.
yeah, you are
So why
audible.
do we always play defensive when we are already leading? Yeah, Indian men's team was not playing defensive. I mean, defense is also a concern now today after that 5-3. Obviously 5-3 victory for Indian men's team, but they have conceded three goals, and that's an alarming call for India. I mean, there are so many defensive lapses. They conceded goal from a penalty corner. They were giving space to Pakistan team inside their D several times, not one or two times, but several times. So that's obviously an alarming call for Indian men's team before going to the second group stage. Netherlands, teams like Argentina is waiting for them in the second group stage. So I don't know what will happen with the India's men's team, but still, Bharat, India have conceded three goals. Your thoughts on defensive performance?
The same point that even Craig Fulton talked about in after the game against England, that India's defense was not up to the mark when they were kind of leading 2-1. So I guess Craig Fulton will have a few more words to say because he's someone who has based it on kind of defensive, good defensive structure. We saw that even in the back end, at the back end of the Pro League with their defensive structure, they even tried a double layered kind of structure. So I guess Fulton will have a few words to say about it. That is something that India have to look at going forward. Yes, they tend to play a little defensively as well when they're kind of leading. That actually happened against England more so than against Pakistan. But yeah, it's a problem for the Indian team going forward. Are you again stuck? Hello? Oh, looks like Rahul is stuck. Anyway, I will take over. Yes, it's a match that had its share of thrills and spills. It turned out to be 5-3 from India's point. The match had its share of thrills and spills, with India coming out on top at 5-3. Are you back? So, from India's point of view, it was a satisfactory. They will not just take 3 points, but there's a goal difference. They don't just go to the second round, but they have a +2 goal difference. But obviously, they won't take any points forward going into the next round. That is something that India will have to ponder upon because they went on to lose a match against England where they were leading, where they were leading 2-1. So anyway, let us look at this match again. I guess one of the key players for India in this match was Abhishek. It was good to see his dribbling skills. And when he got one of those goals, I guess his 3D skills came to the fore. So I guess he was one of the key players from India's point of view. Yes, and from India's point of view, it's also nice to see that someone like Harmanpreet Singh is getting enough goals, netting in enough goals, because just before this World Cup, there was a concern about Harmanpreet Singh and his penalty corner conversion rate, but in this World Cup, he's been consistently netting in goals. We saw that in the earlier games as well against Wales. We saw that little bit of, what can I say? He did a little bit of variation in terms of the angle used. Today again, India tried a variation in terms of penalty corner conversion. So these were a few of the positives that India can take forward to. But yes, there are weaknesses with regard to the Indian team in this particular World Cup. We have already talked about the defensive structure. That is something that Craig Fulton would be very much concerned about, because I guess he's someone who bases the structure, or bases India structure on defense. So when defense is not doing well, I'm pretty sure he would have a few words to say. We saw that even in the press conference after India lost to England, he had quite a few words to say in that presser. So Rahul, are you back? Hello.
Yeah, now I think finally I'm back and got stable connection.
Tried
Please
my
go ahead.
best to get in
Confirm.
little bit of ranting. I guess you're again having some internet issue. Hopefully, it is sorted now.
Yeah, I think so. Let me move.
Okay, seems to have a few more issues. Anyway, let us also look at how Pakistan played. I think their best player, in my humble opinion, was Hanan Shahid. His
Am I audible now?
dribbling skills, and speed, yes, but it's a little bit hazy. Anyway, I will try to finish this point. Hanan Shahid, I guess, was Pakistan's best player. Showed some good dribbling skills and speed. I think he was one of the players we also talked about before the start of the game. So yes, as I just noted, the game had its share of thrills and spills, but I guess it was more of a flawed game between India and Pakistan. But fortunately, from India's point of view, they came out on top. Because on another day, the way India played, who knows what might have happened if India not taken, say, a 3-0 lead. It could have kind of gone against the Indian team. But fortunately for the Indian team, they started well with that 5-3-2 combination, and from there they had a 3-0 lead, and then it was always going to be difficult for Pakistan to come back and make it, say, 3-all or even 5-all. So yes, there are enough positives to take from for the Indian team, but going forward, if they're going to play against a bigger team, one of those European countries, then it's, I think, going to be quite difficult if India continue to play in this fashion, because European teams will come out with a very good defensive structure. They will play a very high press game. That is something that we have seen in the past. Positional discipline as well. So when we consider all these factors, I think it's going to be quite difficult for the Indian team going forward if they continue to play in this fashion. Fortunately, a comeback. Finally, made a comeback, restoring comeback after having some internet issues.
But I agree with UK Thunders. He has commented that goalkeeping department is concerned. Don't you think so, Bharat? I mean, uh, the kind of experience PS Rijesh used to have in this team, the way he used to marshal India's defense against some heavyweight nation, the way he used to organize the defense. Don't you think India is lacking that experience in the defense? Mohit Asia, I know Suraj Karkar have played more than 60, 70 games, but still that goalkeeping department lacked that experience. That's why you think India are conceding goals like 3 goals against Pakistan, 2 goals against England.
I'll go back to the same point. See, it's better to make someone the number one goalkeeper. Just tell to either of them that you are the number one goalkeeper. Don't try to experiment too much. I guess one of the issues that one could notice is that India have tried to experiment with a couple of goalkeepers. I, yes, against Wales, it might have been fine, but even against England, they started with Mohit, then they again experimented. I'm not very sure it is giving either of the goalkeepers much confidence because it's not like India have now Srijesh with so much experience. So I guess it's better off if the coach Craig Fulton tells to one of them that you are the number one goalkeeper for me in this World Cup, you will play most of the matches. I think that will help the Indian team going forward.
Absolutely. We'll keep this show short. Our final few talking point from today's game. Of course, this game was entertaining, to be honest. It was end-to-end hockey played by both India and Pakistan. India scoring goals, Pakistan also responding with goals. It was very entertaining. But at the same point, Pakistan actually exposed Indian defense. And it clearly shows that India is not ready for teams like Argentina or Netherlands. India will have to climb mountain if they have to beat Netherlands or Argentina. So India have a slim chance of hopes to qualify for the semi-final. Again, if India can replicate what they did in Tokyo, what they did in Paris, then it might be possible. If India needs actually a miracle to qualify for the semi-final, as I already mentioned, it was a entertaining game. At the same time, it exposed many areas where India actually need improvement before going into the second group stage. A lot of questions are there, but at the same time, I would like to ask Bharat as well. Bharat, uh, today 3 goals were scored by Pakistan. Of course, it was a good display from our arch rival Pakistan. But how important actually for Pakistan to come back again? Like previously they were the rivalry, like in between Pakistan and India previously in the World Hockey. How important for Pakistan to come back again from behind and again to establish themselves as among the top nation at the World Hockey? How important will that be for actually World Hockey or also for India-Pakistan rivalry?
For them to make a rip-roaring comeback, they have to win a game against a big team. That's not happening. Yes, they made a creditable effort today to make it 5-3. Hanan Shahid, especially, I thought played really well. But I guess it goes beyond just administrative problems. It goes maybe beyond just corruption or politics or whatever it is, because Pakistan's economy also is down. That somewhere also affects in terms of infrastructure. And I guess they still play kind of old school type hockey. When it's going well, they suddenly might net in a couple of goals or two, three goals, but they don't play with that collective approach, and that is something that is perhaps lacking in them. That's one of the reasons. But yes, for world hockey, it's very important that Pakistan makes a comeback, because when India and Pakistan are playing well, when there's a rivalry, then world hockey is something else at some other level, because suddenly there is more interest, more buzz. Unfortunately, currently it's not happening in a couple of sports, and I don't think it will happen in a couple of sports in the near future either. Looking at the situation of Pakistan at a macro level, not just at a micro level, administrative problems, corruption, politics, economy, everything. When you look at it, I don't think this will happen even in the near future. It might take more than a few years.
Valid point, Bharat. We have got several comments here. It doesn't feel like that our midfield even exists. How can we do same mistake again and again? Absolutely. Midfield actually has been a problem for Indian hockey team even before this World Cup as well. In the Pro League, whenever India faced, in the Rourkela League, in the European League as well, whenever India faced teams like Netherlands, Argentina, or Germany, our midfield never took control of the game, which actually forced India to play long balls or higher balls in the midfield. Never India looked that fluid, or never India seemed to control at the midfield. That has been a problem. Maybe Manpreet, though one of the most experienced player at the side, but I think his age is also becoming a factor right now. I think maybe he's not being able to keep up the pace with the opponent midfielders. Hardik Singh, I feel that he's getting lonely at the midfield. India need to reinforce their midfield. To be honest, maybe not the as Hockey World Cup, but again, before the Olympic, midfield is one of the area that India need to address. To be honest,
Yeah, it's
even
something that
when we yes,
sorry,
Bharat.
sorry. You were asking me anyway. You were replying to the question
No, yes,
from
Bharat.
me.
You can
No,
you
no,
can
nothing.
add your
I just
point.
want to add same thing about midfield. We have already talked about it a few lines in our couple of shows. Today also we talked about it. Now itself, just a few minutes ago, I was talking about it. So it's something that India have to look at. Perhaps it's a little bit of an aging side in some sense. Maybe if few new players come to the ranks in a year or two, it could help the Indian team going forward.
Shaurya Rawat saying, even when we were ahead against Pakistan, our players' body language was way low. Actually, till the second quarter, if you say India played really well, but again in the last two quarter, maybe in the last quarter, again India's intensity dropped, and that has been the same thing against Wales as well in the final quarter and against England. In the second half, India were totally out of the game. Also, that is one area where India needs improvement. Suddenly, they're dropping intensity towards the last quarter. May fitness be one issue, but I'm not sure actually. But I mean, at the second group stage, India need to be alert, careful in the final quarter. Against Netherlands, we should go all guns blazing. Win or lose doesn't matter. Bharat, your expectation from Netherlands and playing at their
Oh,
home
that's going to
nation.
be
I mean,
tough.
nation
That's going to be tough
back here.
for the. That's going to be tough for the Indian team. Obviously, if you ask me, put my neutral hat on. Netherlands would start relative favorites here. Hopefully, India will just come out thinking that we have nothing to lose. Anyway, Netherlands are expected to come out on top, and hopefully, India will put up a better show in terms of the defense structure. Uh, I'm pretty sure Greg Fulton, knowing him, about who thinks so much about the defense structure, he will have a few words to say. So fingers crossed, India will do well against Netherlands. But if you ask me, it's going to be a pretty tough match.
Absolutely. Of course, Netherlands will walk into that game as one of the favorite, but against, I think, performance of Indian men's team at Olympic, Paris Olympic and Tokyo give us hopes as this Indian team can punch above their weight whenever needed. Bharat, there's a comment for you. There's a question for you. Is Abhishek the best player when it comes to scoring field goals today?
Was definitely one of the best, if not the best. I think I've already talked about a few minutes ago that he has those 3D skills. He can be a poacher. He can be a kind of feeder as well. Uh, we saw that in the Asia Cup, especially, and in this World Cup. I think he started bit slowly. I guess he started a little bit slowly in the game against Wales, but we saw him show his class in the second one against England to some extent. I think today he was even better in terms of his dribbling skills. One of the goals that he scored, I guess it was to make it 3-0 on those lines. That is when he showed his 3D skills. So yes, he's definitely one of the best, if not the best. He has that flair, he has that flamboyance, and he told me when I interviewed him about this that sometimes there's a school of thought. I'm not saying this is a criticism, but there's a school of thought that sometimes he gets a little bit carried away with his flair and flamboyance. So he replied me by saying that I'm trying to play according to the team's needs. I guess that has already also been told to him that sometimes in modern day hockey, sometimes you need to play according to the team's needs as well. So I guess we saw that today. We saw that even in the second game against England during one of those goals where Hardik, Abhishek, and Dilpreet, I guess, combined to get a goal away for the Indian team. So hopefully he will keep providing the results. He's definitely one of the best, if not the best, in the world in terms of getting field goals in.
India should go compact in all department. I mean, absolutely, India need to maintain the discipline in all department. They will have to maintain their defensive structure very tightly against Netherlands, and also if India get any chances from penalty corner, India will have to convert those chances. I mean, the kind of form Harmanpreet has been now he's leading the goal scorer list at the Hockey World Cup. The kind of form our captain has been, that's one of the biggest positives so far from the group stage matches of Indian men's team. So against Netherlands or Argentina, the penalty corners chances India get, Harmanpreet Singh will have to capitalize on those chances. That's one of the biggest positive from the group stage so far. So we'll end our show here. Indian men's team, of course, they have secured their players at the second group stage, but now it's up to our women's team whether they can defy all odds and expectation and can secure their place at the second group stage. Remains to be seen tomorrow. They will be up against England, and of course, they played out a valiant draw against China. Then they have defeated. Actually, they have trashed 6-1 South Africa, and now against England. So tomorrow, once again, we'll be back. Don't forget to join us for detailed discussion before the match and also after the match as well. But as of now, we are signing off. Thanks a lot, Bharat, and also to all of our viewers. See you in our next show.
And it was good to see you making